Jake from Wani. How are you?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not much, man, not much. How's everything been?
I am getting packed up, getting ready to go, ready to take that nice long journey over to Australia and New Zealand.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, look, you guys are finally bringing your show back down here to Australia. I think this is your first tour down under since Big Day Out in 2002. And it's your very first headline tour here. Do you have any expectations on how the crowd's going to react to these shows?
Yeah, man, it's been way too long. We're totally long overdue for another show. So I'm just looking forward to, whether it's 20 people or 20,000 people, man, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with the rock fans and with the Drownable fans. So,
yeah?
Looking forward to some craziness.
Cool. Awesome. Now, look, I know it's been obviously a fair few years since most of you guys have been down to Australia. So what are you guys looking forward to the most if you get some downtime?
I don't think we have any downtime, but if there's any downtime, man, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with everybody. We have a lot of catching up to do since it's been 14 years. I'm definitely looking forward to catching all the other bands that are playing with us as well. One of my favorite things to do. It's awesome that we get to play, but I also like checking out all the other bands. So I'll be hanging out all night long.
Cool.
We'll be hanging out.
Awesome. Now, you guys have been touring in support of your latest album, Hellelujah, which, might I add, is an absolutely killer album, but what's the reception been like for it, and how's the fans been receiving the new tracks live?
Man, it's been nothing but 100% positive feedback, man, which is great. It's what you always hope for. You never know what you're going to get. But going into this record, man, it's a 100% honest record. It's called Hellelujah. It's about doing what the hell you want to do, saying what you want to say. It's a rebellious record. I mean, that's what rock and roll is all about anyway. So we're hoping that comes across in the music. I think we're back to our core sound that you know from Drowning Pool, like the Sinner record, and now especially featuring our buddy Jasen Moreno on vocals. So
I guess touching on that, for me, I felt that the Sinner Unlucky 13th Anniversary Tour, I guess from my perspective, truly influenced the musical direction of Hellelujah. I haven't come across many bands that have tried to go back to their first record or their groundbreaking record and really sit down and try and relearn it, but you guys did it, and I feel like it influenced the new music. Do you kind of agree with that, or?
You nailed it right there, man. 100% agree with that. A lot of people don't have the time to stop and go back and do that or remind themselves where they came from. And for us, having the 13th anniversary and relearning some of those songs, there's a handful of those songs we hadn't played, like Sermon, since David had passed away in 2002. So it definitely influenced us a lot on the Hellelujah record. I'm glad that we did that because put me back in that mind frame that we were in when we wrote Sinner. And I really hope that comes across in Hellelujah. There was another thing, and you want it to come across natural, man. I'm not going to try to write about it as part 2 or Sinner part 2. I'm just going to keep moving forward and keep writing music. But it doesn't hurt to be re-influenced by where you came from. And hopefully that'll continue on with the next record, even after this one.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you guys signed to eOne Music in August last year. This is a label that has an expansive and an amazing list of talent on it. How's working with the label been in the lead up and following the release of Hellelujah?
I have to say, man, eOne's probably one of my favorites to work with, hands down. Those guys have been great, man, and that's exactly another thing that they did that we love about them. A lot of labels, they want to hear your demos before you go to record a record. A lot of labels want to have a lot of input nowadays because, they're always trying to chase what's hot at the moment or chase radio. That's some of the issues we've had with past management labels. It's why we changed. With eOne, they said, it's your 6th record. You drown it, we'll go make the record that you want to make, and we'll do the rest. We'll put it out. So that's exactly what they did. We absolutely love working with eOne. I'm looking forward to a continued relationship with them. Hopefully, they are the one for us, and that's it.
Yeah,
great guys over there. We definitely love it, all of them.
Yeah, look, that's awesome because I guess in this current climate, you've got a lot of bands that chop and change. I'm trying to find the best deal for them. So if you guys have found the one that suits you the best, then that's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely want to put it out there, man. eOne has been my favorite by far to work with. And like I said before, man, I definitely hope to have a continued relationship with them. They've been nothing but awesome.
Yeah, cool. So for the most part, Drowning Pool has held a steady lineup over the years with, I guess, the only changes occurring in the vocalist role. But you guys are presently settled with Jasen Moreno, who from my understanding, he's been around the band for several years, and I think I even heard somewhere that he sold merch for you guys at one stage in the early days. What has having him be a part of the team been like, particularly on the new album, and how has he helped shape the band's creative process in terms of writing and your stage performance?
Yeah, man, Jasen's been just nothing but a pleasure to work with, man. He's been by far, one of my favorites to work with. Jasen did come up on the scene with us in Dallas. We used to have his band open up for us. They were kind of like the go-to band here on the scene. I've actually recorded some demos for them back in the day. We've done some work with them as well. So we've already known Jasen for a long time. And actually, when he auditioned for Drowning Pool, we had no idea he was doing it. He sent it in, and it was actually the label in Manchester that came back to us and asked us, who's this Jasen guy that's vocal? We didn't even know he was doing it. But the second he walked in the room, man, we already knew. Just having that previous friendship, I think, was a big deal. Something we didn't have with other singers.
Yeah.
They had great voices, and I'm proud of the records that we made with past singers, but we just didn't know them like we knew Jasen. And dude, Jasen just brings another energy. He's got his own fire and energy to this band, man. He's an extreme person, an extreme personality, and that's exactly what we had with Dave Williams. And I think that personality comes across in the music, and especially at the live show, man. The dude's he's all over it live, man. It's a live show. I don't think there's ever been better.
Yeah, I mean, some of the clips that I've been watching of the live performances, like you can just see, as you were saying, that intensity that he has there, and that willingness, I guess, to apply himself to not only the material that he has helped create, but also the material that's come before him. So.
Oh yeah, man. He brings it, man. He brings it every night, 110%. So I definitely love that about him, and he influences us as well, man. So we definitely all play off each other, and it's great, man. It's been really great, man. Honestly, we're having more fun now than we've had since Dave, and we're having a great response and a great time again. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, cool, very cool. So I guess on that note, we have seen a fair few singers go through Drowning Pool since Dave's death, but with Jasen kicking the ass that is kicking at the moment, are you guys finally done making those changes?
Yeah, we're done with those changes, man. We had to go through those changes to get to the right guy, and we appreciate our fans being patient. And again, I'm proud of the records we made with other singers, and they had great voices. But it just wasn't, it wasn't right until now. And that's just what we had to go through, man. It's like a 10-year penance to get to Jasen Moreno. But now we're on it, man. We're more solid than we've ever been. I'm looking forward to many more records with Jasen Moreno.
Yeah, no, look, that's cool, and I think you touched on, but that it's one thing to have a great singer, but it's another thing to have a great singer that has that chemistry, especially with the rest of the band, which has been a collective for so many years now. So, I mean, it's great that you finally found the right fit for you.
Yeah, I'm glad we stuck with it, man. I was getting frustrated there towards before we got Jasen, man. It was definitely a frustrating thing to have to do that switch. But we went as far as we can go with our previous singers, and again, I thank them for working with us. But we just didn't have that back to where we wanted to be as Drowning Pool, and I definitely feel like that's where we're at now, especially with Hellelujah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Now, look, I'm going to touch on something that has been plastered all over the internet over the last couple of days. But on the weekend, I understand you guys had a special guest join you on stage at Chicago Open Air. For those that might not know, it's John Hetlinger, the 82-year-old star that made headlines everywhere for singing Bodies on America's Got Talent. So I just wanted to ask, how was that experience, not only for you guys, but for John? How was it all set up? What was the crowd reaction like? And would you do something similar with sang your tracks on talent shows in the future?
Man, it's just the whole process has been awesome. He's an awesome guy, man. I'm so glad he decided to come up and sing with us. I'm glad to meet him. He's like a new best friend in our life. He's like the fifth member of Drowning Pool now. Such an amazing person. Such a great life he's had. He's got stories for days. He's hilarious. So he definitely deserves whatever he gets from America's Got Talent, because here he is, 82 years old, up there singing metal, looking like a crazy maniac, but he's the nicest, sweetest guy in the world, man. So we had an awesome weekend this weekend, dude. It was so much fun. I didn't even know the dude could drink, man. I could barely keep up with the guy. He's 82 years old, pounding shots and cold beers. Good times, man. Really good times. But, I got the link to his performance, like, right after it happened. didn't know what to expect, and I was just blown away by it, and I was cracking up. And then, you know, I just put the word out there. We wanted to get in touch with them. We'd love to perform with them. And it finally came together pretty fast. And that happened at Open Air Festival in Chicago, and it happened again the next night in Ohio. We played another show with them. So we got 2 shows with John under our belt. And hoping to do more in the future, man. It's just the right place and right time for everything.
Yeah, no,
he's a lot of fun, man.
Look,
Fun guy to hang out with.
I must admit, from having a look at the footage, it seemed like he had a bit of a stage presence about him as well. Like not someone that's shy about being on stage.
Not at all, man. He got up there and commanded the crowd. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you, but he went up there and tore it up, man. He's an 82-year-old, just now starting out, true rock star, man.
Yeah, that's it. So I guess going on to that, like onto his past history and having served in the forces, but Drowning Pool and Five Finger Death Punch seem to have a strong connection or bond with soldiers, I guess. You guys have joined USO in its mission of connection and commitment to strengthening America's service members by keeping them connected to family, home, and country. You even did a few shows earlier this year. What I guess set that in motion? What triggered that? And do you think that more American bands should take this path as a mark of respect and love for someone's country?
It's not just the American troops as well. I mean, we've done a lot of coalition bases. I mean, we played for the Australian troops as well, man. They carry around those 50 cows. I don't know how they do that. They got to have strong backs for that one, man. But it's not so much for a war effort as much as that, you know, we need to remind people that that's men and women, that's friends and family that serve our country, all of our countries, you know, to protect and serve, to keep the peace. There's still real people out there, and, you know, I'll support that aspect to it. And, you know, we go out there and entertain them, and, you know, they're in some of the most intense things that's ever going to happen on this planet. So to give them that peace of mind and that feeling of being at home and kind of give them that mental break that they need, you know, it's the least that we can do. We love doing that. We're going to continue to do that. And again, it's not just for the United States, man. We've done a lot of coalition bases. We've done bases in Japan, Okinawa. We've done, you know, just when the Iraq War was going, all that stuff. I mean, we did bases where everybody was there. We play for all the troops, man.
Yeah.
And we support every country, troops, friends and family, if you will, that are in the armed forces.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. These are the people that are protecting the countries, that are serving their countries. So, I mean, it's a great gesture when any band is able to tour or play for these army and military bases and camps. And, yeah, I just think that it's a great sign of respect.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it's the least we can do, man. I'm in a firm belief that, you know, that stuff is for the right reasons. At least I hope it is. But I'm looking forward to having a peaceful planet at some point. Right now, it's pretty damn crazy, though.
Yeah.
Especially here in the United States, too.
Yeah.
We do it to ourselves, man.
So, most memorable moment on stage or touring?
Oh, man, so many great moments. God, that's hard to say the most memorable one. It's like 1,000 shows just popping into my head. Oh, man. I mean, we had a lot of, I mean, with each singer that we worked with, man, there's always been monumental shows and great shows. I mean, again, like we talked about playing for the troops, those will always be monumental and unforgettable. I mean, this past weekend with John was pretty nuts, dude, playing Open Air Festival in Chicago. I mean, that was huge. I'll never forget that. Back in the day, playing with you guys, when it was a Big Day Out tour 14 years ago. I mean, such a beautiful country and so many cool people, laid-back people. So I'm looking forward to making new monumental shows and memorable shows in the next coming weeks.
Awesome. So I guess in closing, do you have any final message or anything you want to say to the Australian sinners that are going to be coming out to these shows?
Australian sinners, I like that. Man, I'm looking forward to hanging with each and every one of you, and I promise you I will be out there all night long, hanging out. If you haven't seen us yet, and I'm sure you haven't because it's been 14 years, if you even did have a chance to see us, please come out to the show and hang out with us. Come check out Jasen Moreno, and please come meet us. I'll be at the bar. Let's have a drink.
CJ, thanks so much for your time.